Minimize the tab I wanted open.
There it is. All right, welcome back, my expendables. How are we all doing this week?
Wait,
Red-eyed,
what was that?
bushy-tailed.
Excellent. All right, so we all remember what we did last week, or do we need a quick refresher?
I may be suffering a lack of D vitamins because my short-term memory loss.
Oh, well, there is a study in regards to vitamin D deficiency causing short-term memory issues.
Ah, shit, I haven't heard
Not
that
again.
Huh.
Okay, so last time we left off, you guys had met a group of scouts who do their own actual footwork instead of conscripting spirits to do it for them, as compared to ghosts. And you had picked up a job to about a day and a half. What was it? Yeah, it was about a day and a half's travel south of Mansque to deal with a newly cropped up gnoll problem.
That's right.
I don't recall if we actually set out, but I know we had at least gotten to the point with Lantern. We'd at least gotten back to our carriage, and yes. Lantern was excitedly readying the horses.
Yep. So you guys are still in the town, or in the city.
Well, if nobody has any objections, Lantern would like to change that.
I'm not hearing any objections. You good over there?
There's Mike.
Well, if Lantern's not hearing any objections either, she's going to set out.
I think Fiona's mic is being weird.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay. Anyways, I was saying, do we want to make sure that we have enough provisions before we set out?
Oh shit, that's actually a good thought.
Very good thought, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like I still have 10.
We've been in town for a while, so we haven't had to eat our rations.
Yeah, Lantern still has full cooking ingredients.
Hmm.
We do still have 4 of the fruity hardtack as well from the other dungeon.
Right, that stuff.
I don't need to buy anything if everybody else wants to take a look at their shit.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I've still got 11 rations, which is more than enough for a whole day's worth of travel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go then.
Heck, we might not even need them if it's terrain I can forage in.
We shall see.
Yes.
It's only about a day's worth outside of town, though, so I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to find. But
Fair
you never
enough.
know until you try.
Very true.
Well, you think less than you realize. Okay.
Okay, sounds like there continue to be no objections, so Lantern's going to set out.
All right, so the crew heading out south.
Dangerous, you're starting to lose.
What was that?
Your mic was going in and out there a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard him fine.
Okay. Let's see, I'm being picked up fine.
And now it sounds fine. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he sounded fine to me.
Anyway.
Also,
Anyways, your travel south will take you past the town of Starcrest if there's anything you need to stop there for, unless some of you are too traumatized to return.
Why would I be? That kind of bug looked way more edible. Not, 100% edible, but
Traumatized for other reasons.
Didn't know.
like
No.
blowing his cover in a major way and becoming the topic of area folklore for the rest of eternity. Got it.
I didn't know about these things.
The beauty of small village life.
Yes.
Okay, well, not stopping at Starcrest then. You eventually leave the road and the regular day-to-day traffic behind. And begin headed out on a further 4 hours travel south before you need to settle down and rest for the day.
All right. Lantern is going to set the horses up for the night.
Fiona is going to once again try to help. And learn animal handling.
Dori is just going to play music and entertain everybody.
Animal handling and intelligence from Lantern and Fiona respectively. Performance roll from Dori.
Vellos is gonna forage while this is going on. Or try to.
It's animal handling from Lantern and int from Fiona, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Lantern does an okay but unexceptional job.
Fiona's still not understanding anything.
Anyway, the most important thing is if a horse gets a rock in its foot, it hurts a lot. So make sure there aren't any rocks in the foot. That's how you do it. That's how you make sure that Fred and Big Face Boy are also having an excellent time being Delvers and wonderful and enjoying it, and it's great.
Fiona looks at the horse, looks at their feet, and it's like, how am I supposed to check a foot?
Lantern shows you in great detail with blinding speed and intensity that distracts from it enough to justify our respective scores.
And
once they're set up, she's gonna carry what she's done.
Fiona is too focused on watching how you move to actually understand what the flip you're doing.
You're sitting there like, dang, you could turn that into a fighting style if you tried hard enough.
I wonder how much it would hurt to get kicked by a horse.
So much! Oh my goodness! Yes, mighty! It is so painful. And you go flying so far, and then you crash into a building from behind.
Worst part is
13.
13. By your own standards, probably a fairly average performance.
Yeah.
What instrument are you playing on?
My lute.
There is some ponderance in whether or not your lute is off key, but it is not enough to warrant stopping to adjust it right now, especially since you're simply playing for friends and not anywhere else.
Upon tending to the horses, Lantern is going to attempt to make dinner for the crew.
Which brings me over to Vellos. Yes, you are able to find a selection of various edible plants, largely. Unfortunately, even being a half day's travel within a farming village tends to chase off some of the wildlife.
yeah, not gonna be a whole lot of game this close to a semblance of civilization.
Lantern would like to use these foraged ingredients and also as much of her mead as she can reasonably justify adding.
Yes, 1 second. I need to send. Hang on a second. Yes. Okay, I need to send Vellos something real quick during his gathering.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Things are being sent.
And it sounded like dice were being rolled.
Don't worry about it.
Ooh.
Too
But-
late.
Never worry
But I
about it.
want to worry about it.
Vellos is cool. It's fine. He's just doing cool guy shit, I'm sure.
But what if he finds a cursed weapon that takes possession of his brain and turns him into like, I don't know, some kind of tarnished dragon version of himself?
Nah, he'd resist it because of how cool he is and tough. Tough also.
But what if he becomes a closer friend with the cursed weapon than he is with you?
You take that back, you son of a bitch.
Oh, neat.
But the cursed weapon lives in his head.
I'm sure there's room for two.
The fuck are you guys talking about?
Nothing. Would you like
Nothing.
some compote? I think. I haven't quite decided what it is yet. It smells great, though.
Yeah, well, I found something good. They're a little rare for the area, but I've had these fruits before. Floral tasting, but pretty delicious.
Care to describe them?
Vellos shows a small handful of oblong, bright red fruits.
Lantern will accept one and delicately sniff it, bite off the end to taste it.
Lantern, it is, as Vellos described, a rather floral tasting fruit, though it is curiously kind of oily on the inside with a large amount of seeds. And those seem to be where a lot of the flavor and oiliness comes from.
Ooh.
I just find pomegranates.
Pomegranates are round. And Lantern would have promptly looked like a murder scene after taking... Well, no, because she's red.
He would have been fairly indistinguishable because of what color she is.
Also, pomegranates come from a tree.
I
I think I can
didn't
probably
actually
get
know
these.
that. I have no idea what these are then.
Me neither,
Vellos'
but neither does
player
Lantern.
would fail at his survival checks.
Well, that's a good thing I don't need survival to find food.
This is true. Just assume
Either way, again, using as much of the mead as is reasonably feasible without it being like super obvious that she's just trying to offload as much meat on you guys as possible.
Good
Lantern
thing-
does prepare a dinner. Do I need to roll because she's trying to do something here with the meat?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Oh, no.
Do you cook off enough of the booze or not?
Basically.
It's a dirty 20.
Ah,
I'm not sure what you're doing, but you're doing it very well.
You guys get a sort of I would say a sort of a quick pickled fruits and berries assortment with a bunch of crusty bread and melty cheese that is, by the taste, 30% meat.
Okay.
Fondue traditionally has kirsch in it, but I don't think Lantern knows what kirsch is or what fondue is, so she excitedly introduces the dish as melty cheese a la meat and berry.
Okay, so all ye flea mammals, as you are presented with the dish, there is a heady, potent warmth coming from it that brings a tear to your eyes and clears out the sinuses.
Cool.
Only cool from one person?
Potent.
Vellos, Lantern, you're oblivious to this effect.
Oh. Well, shit. It just tastes good
Hence
to me.
why I said mammals.
Lizards aren't super big with tasting capsaicin necessarily. There could be peppery.
Oh,
That makes sense.
This might be straight up peppercorns.
oh, I'm thinking like jalapeno. Or are those green?
Those are green.
The
Fiona, your
red
microphone's acting up again. Here goes Fiona.
Gonna be concerning if Lantern never finds a
Discord, behave.
I know, right? Okay, now that we have you back, Fiona.
Thank you. Fiona thinks that the spiciness is delicious. It makes her feel clear-headed.
So that wasn't from
Prepared
the
to fight
taste.
things.
That wasn't from the taste. That was just from the smell of the dish.
Ooh.
Bruno, thoughts, comments before tasting, or before moving on to tasting?
He'll try it.
Or he digs in
Okay, cool.
enthusiastically.
Mammals, con saves.
Oh God.
I'm not wishing I
I
did
will
not
roll
say
for
that he would
Thorn
try it.
since he's not here.
Oh, it's a spicy one, I think.
Thorn maybe
Probably.
has a premonition of liquid fire about to enter his face and
Oh,
just
God.
sticks to the chase.
Oh, no.
Fiona did not roll well.
Dori does okay with the 14.
Okay, who
Yeah.
here rolled below a 10?
Fiona!
I haven't rolled
Okay.
due to that particular thing. Had got that particular page got closed on me. Had to go find it. Oh,
Oh,
Bruno rolled below a 10.
Thorn just cleared the dice save.
Lucky him.
Okay, so those of you who rolled above a 10, it's a
Mhm.
burn. It's a good burn. But it's an eye-watering, sinus-clearing, you've never breathed so well burn.
Oh,
Thorn,
my.
however, is very suspicious about this simply because of the burn, and he keeps side-eyeing you, Lantern, as if he's trying to figure out if you actually somehow managed to put fire into the food.
Lantern is eating it like oatmeal. No apparent, like, just enjoying it very much, thinking it tastes like flowers.
Yes, Vellos
Same with
Lantern.
Vellos.
It's a very floral dish. The sweetness of the fruit complements the savoriness of the cheese. The cheeses and meats very well. Ye who rolled below a 5 or below a 10,
Yep.
Yeah.
it is like biting into flames.
Oh,
A fire
Ow.
arcs across your tongue, down your throat, erupts from your nostrils. Or at least that's what it feels like.
I don't know what's wrong. I mean, it's a little hot, but it's good.
Fiona has tears running down her face.
Well,
So
yes,
does
of
Bruno,
course it is
and
hot.
he is clearly looking for where is the water or milk.
I cooked it on the fire. Of course it is hot. If he's looking for milk, he does have a great deal of mead-infused cheese on his plate.
Hmm.
Here's the thing. Fiona doesn't throw away food. She will keep eating it, even though she has tears running down her face.
Combination
She
of,
is not talking
oh,
as
dear.
she eats it.
Power through the
Well,
pain.
you hit a really
Yes.
good
Probably
combination.
doesn't eat as much as she usually would. It's she views it as delicious, but not something to eat in large quantities.
Alright, go ahead, Vellos.
You managed to hit a really good combination of savory and sweet this time around, Lantern.
Thank you.
Vellos says as he's scarfing his stuff down
You can take
without a care in the world.
As Fiona finishes the food, she will put her bowl down, look at Vellos, and go, "Is there a nearby river or stream that you saw while you were foraging?"
Bruno is looking very intently at Vellos and waiting for his response.
I think there was a small stream.
Where?
Bruno is already standing, waiting for directions.
Alright. He would either lead or tell them where to find the stream.
It is worth noting that a melty enough cheese would have a high enough oiliness that the spice got infused into the cheese. It's not going to help. So off to the stream we go.
Bruno would
Winter,
not
who still has no idea
for the
that
cheese.
that these people are sitting there with a tea kettle going off in their braids, happily cleans up the camps, the cooking site as normal.
Bells just seems confused as he leads them to the street.
Obviously, they were so invigorated by this delicious meat-infused cheese that they decided they needed a swim to work off all of the energy it gave them.
Yeah, that must be it.
So as you guys make it to the stream, it's not the biggest thing ever.
Does it look clear?
Yes.
Alright, good. Fiona will go ahead and start rinsing her mouth out. She doesn't swallow the water. But she tries to get as much of the oiliness out of her mouth first.
There's a temporary reprieve, and then you realize all you've successfully done is better coat your mouth.
Water's never the right answer for spicy food, Fiona.
They don't have milk! They're in the wilderness!
And the cheese is the thing that
Granted, I
did
don't think
this.
you would understand. Maybe? Depending on your lifestyle beforehand, you might not understand milk or bread would be the correct answer.
I don't know. Fiona came from a farm. Would she understand milk being a cure to spicy
It's not
food?
so much milk being cured to spicy food more than it is the plants that Vellos brought over would have fetched the group easily 20 gold for the, fistful of fruits.
Oh my.
Holy shit.
I don't know. Fiona grew up on a farm.
She probably would not, at least not this far north, recognize
Okay.
spicy foods then.
Did I find chili peppers?
Yes.
I will say, well,
Not that Vellos would understand that.
Nope. He's got no clue. He probably doesn't even know what spiciness is.
You
Oh.
understand pepperiness, but not this.
No. Oh.
Lantern, I think, after having such a wonderful, lovely, warm meal, what she is going to do is ask for Dori's help using her ice cream supplies to make ice cream.
Dori will be
Do you
delighted
guys have
to
any
assist.
milk?
Yeah, she bought it like a day or two ago in town when she was buying. It's listed in my inventory as ice cream making supplies
Okay.
or ice cream ingredients.
Dori will suggest that we not use the new fruits
You.
in the
Oh,
other
that's a good idea because I think it is too sweet, and it is going to make it much too sweet if we go directly into that. So I was thinking some of my dried fruit would be better for this.
Yep. Absolutely agree.
Yes. As
I was
Thorn
going to
is
suggest
questioning where
that.
the sweet is coming from.
On the way back, they'll also probably stop by the plants again and pick some more and offer one to Thorn. Here, they're really sweet.
Thorn passed his con save.
Yes.
Yep. No, only you and me, Fiona. We're the two failures.
Yep.
By the time you get back to camp, there's probably dried cranberry ice cream or whatever berry you can just buy a big bunch of.
Fiona is making a
cranberries
mental
area.
note that next time they get back into town to find a book on plants in this region. Because she is proficient with survival, so
You probably do
Oh.
find some
I-
relief from the ice cream if you accept it.
Bruno
Fiona will look
does.
at Dori.
None
What
of the
flavor
new
is-
fruits were put in the ice cream.
Okay.
Not like you
Fiona
really
will
have
eat
any
the
of
ice
that
cream.
left after Lantern's initial cooking.
No, she used all of it that Vellos gave her in this food.
Fair enough. Wish we thought to save some to like dry out or something.
Didn't you say you picked some on the way back?
Considering how
Vellos-
good they were, you probably would have taken another pass at the plants, see if there are any more ripe ones ready to be picked. But if not, then he'd leave them. Hello?
Hello. Yes. If you're looking to track down more, I would say that would be more of a survival roll. Sorry.
He didn't memorize where he found them.
No, this your forager trait is more you will find edible stuff, but it's more random chance rather than survival is actively looking.
That makes sense. What is... Oh, he is actually proficient in survival, so yeah, let's give it a go.
Sure.
I want to find more of these things. I apologize in advance, Thorn.
Roll it.
Why are you apologizing to Thorn? He passed his con save.
But they're still really spicy.
Meaning he'd still have to pass it again anytime he ate some, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I thought.
On the flip side, none of you have ever breathed so cleanly
19.
Let's see here.
One of these days, Fiona will figure out how to take care of horses.
In your investigation of 19, you do manage to locate a few more of the plants. Not all are looking as ripe, but you're able to gather up another 8 fruits.
Ooh, not bad, not bad. You
These ones are looking a little. The best, given your survival. What's your nature check or nature skill?
nature I think isn't as good. Yeah, he's not proficient in nature. It's only a +1.
I'd say give me a roll, anyways.
Okay. Ew.
That's
Damn. That's a 2.
Yeah,
in that one.
Yeah, there's nothing exactly. Oh, I'm trying to think of a way to put this without making it sound like you've poisoned yourselves or anything, because you haven't. But it's like, as you look around, you only, as far as those plants go, from your vantage point, you're only seeing like those few plants of that variety, and everything else is more along the lines of what you'd normally find in a temperate plains that gets ample rainfall.
Huh. Strange.
The idea of it being strange wouldn't even cross your mind.
Fair enough. Bells probably just thinks he got lucky then.
Yeah.
Either way, he comes back humming happily to himself with 8 more of the strange little fruits to give to Lantern to dry out and stuff.
Lantern is excited by this and commences preparing them to dry out, tying them on a string, the way that you would tie garlic, which she has dried out before.
I'd say that'd be good enough of a method. It's just, this is a slightly more wetter fruit.
Yeah, she makes sure that each part will have plenty of airflow to make sure it dries nicely and evenly, and probably hangs it up in the sunward side of the wagon.
Which won't really work at the moment because it's evening, heading into night, but...
Yes, but I know which way east and west are, so I'm going for the one that's going to be in the sun in the morning.
Reasonable. Okay. After that bit of suffering aside, come nightfall, everyone being reminded that you do now have a dimension dorm.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Woohoo!
Yay!
All the big people get to go sleep in there, giving Fiona and Lantern so much more room.
You normally see Lantern more or less cocoon herself in a hammock. And with all of the extra space, you see her with a level of smugness almost never seen outside of, like, house cats. You see her pull slightly away from the wall, so it's, occupying way more space than it actually needs to, a pillow, which she promptly curls up on and passes out.
I guess that leaves Fiona with first watch.
Seems like it.
Fiona sighs and then plays mental math on who's getting second watch, and then decides it's Vellos.
Fair enough.
Do I detect
Since
some?
nobody.
Do I detect some level of petty vengeance?
Yes.
She knows it wasn't Lantern's fault.
Lantern just cooked the fruit. Vellos found it. And Fiona will be doing research when they get back to town to figure out what the fuck she just ate. And why it burned so much. And why the two scaled ones didn't seem affected. So that she can explain to Lantern why it hurt.
Lantern still has absolutely no idea. None of y'all actually said anything to her, so she's just like... She's
True.
confident that you all clearly had exactly the same experience she did.
This is true. None of you guys exclaimed to your scaled companions that this was painful and fiery.
No,
Fiona
that's because
very
Fiona
quietly-
doesn't know why it is, and she knows Lantern is going to ask why.
She very quietly excused herself to go swimming as far as Lantern knows, so she has no idea that she unleashed napalm upon her friends.
As far as Vellos knows, Fiona just needed a drink and couldn't find her water skin or something.
Fiona did not want that fire in her water skin.
Fair.
A good old culinary napalming.
As far as both the scaled ones know, it was a savory, sweet treat.
Maybe a little too floral. Lantern is going to she's going to retool it before she serves this all to you guys again.
Oh dear.
Though it definitely works with meats. You know that for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Did you ever roll as you're taking watch?
I have not rolled yet.
Okay.
I'm rolling perception.
Yes, as you do.
All right. Eight. My mouth still burns. It's distracting.
That's okay. Though you do feel like you are missing something aside from your mouth burning, you can't put your finger on it.
Well, when it comes around, Fiona goes and wakes up Vellos. She turns to his room in the dimension door and knocks on it.
Vellos, you're being rudely awakened.
Well, that was quick. Guess it's my turn.
Yep, second watch.
Gotcha.
No entry lots for any of the watches tonight.
Right, we forgot about that. Oops. Oh well.
Uh-huh. So just pick whoever, I guess, when your watch is done. Lantern
Alright.
usually does last because she does breakfast, so.
Alright. I'll pick somebody else.
Yep.
Yep. You have a good
Fiona
night.
will go crawl into her hammock.
Hmm.
And leave Vellos to watch.
And he takes up his post and begins his watch. with the same number as Fiona, an 8.
Vellos, you hear from all around you a deep, low rumbling.
What the fuck? Okay, he's going to wake up at least Lantern immediately.
Yes, hello? What? What? Oh,
Lantern,
hi.
Fiona is also not in a dorm.
I'm probably Fiona in that case. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
Lantern, Fiona, as Vellos wakes you up to alarm you of a deep rumbling noise from all around, the sky tears open and it begins to pour.
Oh no,
Oh.
Vellos, were you afraid by the storm? I'm so sorry to hear this. Do not worry. And she starts, I would just say, giving a very maternal prattle about how the storm is nothing to be afraid of to you, as though genuinely concerned that that is what scared you.
No, I've experienced storms before. Didn't recognize the sound.
He says, embarrassed.
Fiona raises an eyebrow at that and then turns in her hammock to go back to sleep.
Lantern yawns hugely, Pac-Manning her head open like a cat, and then curls back up asleep on her pillow and falls back immediately.
Um,
And that
Well,
is
luckily
your
you can
watch.
keep watch without going on the roof. Because windows.
well, at least
So who's Velos gonna wake up?
Third watch.
Vellos is gonna wake up Bruno because he can see better in the dark anyway.
Yeah, out to 300 feet. Yep.
Yep, spin the dial, find Bruno's dorm if he's in a dorm,
Yes.
Yep.
and knock knock.
Oh, okay. My watch. All right.
Yep, it's raining, so
Okay. All right.
your trip. Wake up either Dori, Thorn, or Lantern for last watch. We didn't draw lots. Fiona got first.
I'll probably do Lantern. Does breakfast anyway.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll also switch it to his dorm and bid Bruno a good night.
All right. Good night. Hey. And Bruno will set up to take watch. For a 14.
Okay, so as you're taking watch, your vision is horribly hampered by the storm.
Mhm.
But your unique and expanded senses as a fox, you pick up something relatively close to your campsite. And as you're watching, you see a group of moles burst from the ground, gasping, panting, one of them screaming, "Air! Sweet air!"
Did you say mole or knoll?
Moles.
Okay.
As in mole people.
Yeah,
As in
that's what I thought you said, but I wasn't quite sure if that was an M or an N sound, so.
As in, you get the feeling part of the loam link may have a less than stable part of the loam link may have collapsed due to the flash storm.
How close are they?
Good 40, 50 feet off, though, given their own vision, you could probably assume in this heavy rainstorm they may not have noticed you.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Alright. For now, he keeps an eye on them, but do any of them look...
Look. Bruno?
You got cut off on the end.
injured?
No, just
Do any of them look... Okay. So, if they look okay, he's just going to keep an eye. Otherwise,
After a moment, they begin to begrudgingly trudge off in a direction that's eastward from where you are, and eventually slip from sight. And during the course of your 2-hour watch, the flash storm begins to fade off as quickly as it came along.
sounds about right. Whew. Okay. At the end of his watch, he goes,
Now Bruno keeps getting cut off.
really?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I said I'd go wake up Lantern. Let me disconnect and reconnect.
Okay.
Lantern, who is in her sleep having what appears to be a very enthusiastic fist fight, somersaults off of the pillow, shakes her head a few times, gives a thumbs up, and goes to take watch.
Alright. Am I sounding better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
We'll see who Discord decides to mess with next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lantern, you said you were having a dream with a very enthusiastic fist fight.
Yes.
Okay. You were having a fist fight with a feline of the Chikitu subspecies, and as you were waking up, they bid you a farewell and see you next time.
Okay, but if you try to steal my sausage again, I'm gonna fight you more.
They look forward to it.
The thumbs up is therefore not just something she gives in real life to Bruno as a, yes, I'll go take watch now, but also in the dream to the feline subspecies, cementing that if the feline subspecies steals her food again, she will fight about it.
Lantern, now with a rival in the dreaming, has awoken.
I don't know about rival, I'd say more frenemy. She has very positive feelings towards this person. Other than the food stealing. Either way, she gets a 21 on her perception check while keeping watch.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Something not weather related. Decided I don't like these dice simply because they're hard to read.
That's fair.
That's not a great attribute in a dice.
No. No, it is not.
Oh well, nothing seems to happen throughout your night other than the strangest sensation that you might be missing something, but you can't tell.
Well, in that case, that 21 is spent mostly perceiving cool bugs that have come out in the post-rain situation. monitoring the bugs, but they don't really do anything other than bug stuff.
There's a few bugs you're familiar with. Some that you've
None of them are
determined
delicious, though.
Yes, I was going to say some of them you've determined are infinitely better for catching fish or other more delicious things.
Yeah, none of these are the kind of bugs she'd enjoy on a sandwich.
Or in any other variety.
You know, they can be cooked, and you can make food with it that tastes good, but it's in spite of the ingredient rather than because of it. And that's, no.
That's being generous. This is more of a I am starving kind of bug.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes appetite is the main spice you need.
This is true.
Either way, she doesn't actually take any of the bugs because, again, they wouldn't be delicious. So she mostly just monitors them.
And they are not doing anything nefarious at all.
No, but one of them actually grabbed a stick and is carrying the stick, and that's pretty cool. It's a very small stick, obviously, because it's a bug, but...
For the most part, it's puddles of mud everywhere. It's not going to be fun driving in this, but...
Well, we got rain wheels, at least. And probably about halfway through her watch, Lantern goes ahead and starts making breakfast.
And gradually morning comes around, and all of you wake up as you do.
You are greeted by bacony-type morning food smells.
Yay, bacon.
Hey.
So how are the dorms, guys?
Decent.
Nice.
Bare bones, but serviceable.
I was thinking practically luxurious, although I need more blankets and pillows in mine.
You should make some kind of blanket robe so you can take it with you easily when you go in there, but it doesn't just, get shunted out immediately when it's closed because stuff can't stay in there.
Well, that's true. I was
Like a
thinking
rope?
lots of gauzy fabric, over the door and that kind of thing. But yeah, it can't stay there when it's not.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
It's practical, but not luxurious.
Pretty much.
But still, it is good that we all get room now.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much space to spread out, says Lantern, who spread out took maybe 5 square feet of room.
Same. Well, while Lantern finishes cooking, Fiona's going to go over the map to make sure they're still on track.
As you open up the map, yeah, no, it would be easy enough to tell whether or not you're still on track if you keep heading in the same direction as you were during the day.
All right, excellent. Fiona, the navigator, to Lantern's driving.
Lantern loves teamwork, so she's quite happy with this arrangement.
Dori will sit right behind him or as close as she can, with her lute out, playing away and checking out the landscape.
You do quickly see, though it is collapsed from muddiness, the area where the moles had breached up from.
That's a weird looking spot on the ground.
It
Big
is.
hole.
Yeah, some moles came up out of it. They were uninjured and didn't even come towards us. So
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I bet there was a flood. You get that in tunnels. Tunnel flood is no joke. I've seen a lot of kobolds get washed out. Nobody wants to be washed out.
That would certainly explain the "thank God air" comment I think I heard last night.
Yeah, you get a lot of that, but it's more of a, and she is obviously imitating something she's heard as she says in Draconic, "Air, air, 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 air." Nods firmly. That's how you know.
You didn't think to make sure they were okay?
They seemed okay. None of them looked injured, and they walked off pretty okay. So I did keep an eye on them, at least until they went out of sight.
All right. Well, trust your judgment.
Wasn't sure who they were or what they were, and wasn't gonna just bring them onto the wagon without having everyone's agreement on that first.
That makes sense. What if they were insane cannibals?
Pretty much that kind of thought process, yeah.
That's a thing.
As you begin to realize how much being a Delver is impacting your thought process.
I'm going to say right now, Lantern would have suspected insane cannibals from the start. She's heard stories. She knows what's up.
It's more the fact that everybody else was agreeing with Lantern.
That is true. You guys are agreeing with the kobold without examining the thought.
Well, Bruno is never the most trusting to begin with, so.
No, that's a thing that happens with kobolds too sometimes, because if you get locked in a room for too long and you can't scrabble your way out, and the only thing around there is other kobolds, they start looking really tasty.
They probably would, yes.
Yep.
Please do not eat your crewmates.
She wouldn't eat her crewmates.
That was a general request for all of you.
Well, there's no way Bruno would ever eat Dori, so she's safe.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to worry about that from Fiona. She can last twice as long as you all without food.
Lantern has all sorts of exciting experimental concepts for cooking cave slime of various origins if we ever run into this situation, so don't worry. We'll just eat delicious cave slime like civilized beasts.
Dori gives you a look of, oh my god.
Yes, this is what we've gotten ourselves into, Dori.
Yep.
There's no escape.
Well, no, it's because it's always a bad idea to eat your friends, because your friends can help you go find other things to eat. That's your first place messing up as a kobold, is when you eat your friends.
Right. Okay.
Yes, that's the only issue.
Dori realizing the error of her ways.
Yeah.
As most Delvers tend to do. But then also realize that they are in just too deep.
No, it's if you're in too deep that you have to start worrying about the cannibalism. Because, unless you have a way out. If you have a way out, it's fine.
Vellos just seems very confused by all
Ladders
of this.
save lives, guys.
Anyways. A half day's travel. Thanks to your rain wings, your speed is otherwise unimpeded.
Yay, rain wheels.
Yay.
We bought rain wheels at the absolute perfect time.
That was a
Right?
really good investment.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the rain wheels was like
Yeah.
one of the first things you guys bought.
And we were clearly
second or
correct.
third?
I think it was in the second batch of
Second batch.
upgrades.
Yeah, because we got it in Mansque.
Yeah. Either way, it was definitely a case of you guys wanted it and not. You guys went with the, what was it? Better have it, not need it path.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never a bad approach.
Nope.
And so you are able to travel relatively unimpeded by the weather. That is now, while ominously cloudy, is no longer threatening to dump down on you all. And soon, according to your map, you will be making your way towards the Null Fort dungeon.
Be able to see it yet, do you think?
At this point, yes, but because it's on top of a hill.
That's going to make taking it a little hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Into a thing and explore it again. That worked pretty well the first Knolls.
Are there any tree lines nearby that we can park the wagon in?
Not really in this case. You're not looking out as much as last time. The closest tree line is a good mile off from you, and it's more of a glade than a proper foresting area.
Which means we're not going to really be able to sneak up on this fort.
All the more reason to explore it beforehand.
From your angle, you do see that it is a proper, well, I say proper, it's a rather rough-looking stone wall. And there is, from where you stand, appears to be one covered tower.
Okay.
One covered what?
Tower.
The sort of covering that would both protect from the weather and provide cover against archery-based attacks.
Great.
Again, if you would like, I am happy to scout it out as a chipmunk.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but we'd all be way too far away to really help you if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
If we have to park the wagon a mile off.
And I can only get one person with invisibility.
How long does invisibility last?
It lasts an hour.
An hour?
I mean, we could cast invisibility on the chipmunk.
I think that'll work.
Okay, but we should probably get a little bit closer first because chipmunks are small and it will take a little while to get there.
True.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably get spotted as we walk up, though.
Well, really what it would make more sense to do is for someone else to be invisible and waiting slightly closer to me, and I am just an innocuous chipmunk exploring a tower.
Tower, a wall.
A fortification.
Yes.
Okay, well, who do we want me casting invisibility on? I mean, we can make it me.
Dori, I think, would actually be an excellent choice because you can send up a signal flare. You have that fireworks ability.
Yes, I do. Is that what we want to do?
That would be my suggestion.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would be either Dori or myself because I can be pretty quick, and we know those gnolls have those dog things that they ride on. Hyena. Hyenas? Were they called hyenas?
Maybe?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know.
From the Balak, they'd probably recognize a hyena.
No. Closest would be Thorn from Vignotte. I think with the exception of Thorn, the rest of us are from Alamance, aren't we?
Yeah, think so.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hold on, can I turn into a hyena?
Yes.
You've seen him.
Okay. Yeah, I have. Sorry, I was looking at. I was trying to find the challenge rating to see if I was able to. Assuming that it's the same challenge rating as a wolf.
A bit of a meta complaint. Hyenas are a lower CR than wolves, but a hyena would kick a wolf's ass any day of the week.
Absolutely,
speaking.
it would not be a contest.
Yeah.
But that is good to know, because if I can turn into a hyena, then I can at very least turn into something as fast as a hyena and potentially outrun a hyena. But I still think I'm going to go in chipmunk form, because a chipmunk is not suspicious anywhere.
This is true.
You could also bite things as a hyena if you ever felt inclined to.
That is true.
Don't think that would stop Lantern.
No, I'm pretty sure Lantern would bite people as Lantern. But
Really, there is no end to forms that Lantern would be happy to bite someone with.
This is very true. This is very true.
Yep.
Anyways.
Okay, so our invisible bunny and a innocuous chipmunk are going to invisibly head a little bit closer to the fort.
Okay.
Before Lantern is going to attempt to infiltrate it with squirrely might.
If we hear an alarm going up, we're charging in, right?
yes.
You guys don't even know you guys don't even know where the gate door is.
No, but we can still charge at the fort and be a distraction.
True.
Us fellas can fly over the wall.
Okay, Lantern. So where are you climbing up from?
Do we have a map?
Oh yeah.
Vaguely. Hang on. We are going to run off theater for the moment, because I never translated the map to something I could display to you guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Whoops.
Okay, if we're theater of the minding it, I could use a refresher on what I'm looking at.
Okay, so you have a earthworks or stonework wall about 20 feet high. The tower itself on the northern wall is 30 feet high and in the northeast corner from your approach.
Okay.
I think I would like to try the tower.
Okay, so climbing up the wall on to the tower, which is another 10 feet taller than the rest of the wall. From where you look around, you notice some rather brutish-looking gnolls. And this is brutish compared to your standard gnoll.
So even more brutish, one would say.
There is a stairwell leading to the west onto the roof of another building nearby. Or actually, literally neighboring, I should say.
How many of the especially brutish-looking gnolls am I seeing? Three? All right.
At least on top of the tower, hanging out, milling. Seeming bored, overseeing the rest of the place.
You mentioned stairs leading to a different tower.
Yes, leading to a building. From where you stand, it is a little bit lower. I should say the roof of that building is level with the wall.
Okay, I would like to skitter onto that roof, see if there's any holes in the roof from which one could peer in.
Holes in the roof. But looking right at the other place, you notice on the western side of the wall, there are 3 towers, two of which have a rope bridge leading to each other. And what you could surmise is probably the entrance, with another tower a good 40, 50 feet off, leading onto the south wall, which, as you pan over to that, there is another large building whose roof is kind of level with the wall, and then you have an open courtyard.
How's that courtyard looking?
That courtyard is looking interesting. You have on the northern part of the wall what looks to be a training yard with archery range, combat dummies, and interestingly, some kind of running yard. But you get the feeling it's not meant for bipeds.
It's a dog run for hyenas.
Obstacle course would probably be a better term, but yes. And speaking
Okay, what sort of obstacles have they been training these hyenas on?
If you had to give it a guess, it looks like they've been trained to run around in combat and jump over things on the ground.
Well, that's not all that exciting. I was hoping they would fetch swords, but can't always get what you want, Lantern.
Nope. Speaking of hyenas, you do see in kind of the middle of the area are some very rough put together carts from where you're standing, and what appears to be some more of those big rideable hyenas kind of hitched to a very sturdy looking post with what appears to be some kind of barding on them.
Okay.
I don't know what barding is. Could you elaborate?
Barding is any kind of... Your horses have barding. It's kind of protective equipment, but it's also the kind of equipment that you would hook up a wagon.
So something between like a harness and armor.
Wait. No, barding is specifically horse armor.
Oh, right. I'm getting terms mixed up. Hi, I'm not running on the most amount of sleep. Yes, they do
Fair
have
enough.
they have a modified form of barding that also functions like a harness. And it's clear it functions like a harness given how they're hitched to the post.
Okay. I am wondering how one might incite hyenas.
I guess give me a nature check.
I will give you a nature check. I don't think Lantern actually knows, because that is an 8.
You're kind of thinking hyenas look like dogs, but at the same token, you're like, these are not dogs.
Okay. So probably a good way to incite them would be with either food or throwing something at them. And as a chipmunk, I'm limited in both options, although I could absolutely scurry down there and test the strength of those leashes at potential of great personal harm.
That is always a significant risk. And also, speaking of hyenas, they do seem to have a fairly large, kind of fenced-in area along the eastern wall, connecting to the southern building. That's also got hyenas in there who seem to be wearing actual proper, some protective equipment.
Are they tethered and or secured?
No, but they're fenced in.
Okay.
They're fenced in, and they do have, from where you're looking at, some of the gnolls that would be typically patrolling the area are actively handling the hyenas.
Can I see it? Do the hyenas appear to have any sort of food trough or feed area?
Yes. But it also comes as you look over the area that hyenas do not have a comprehension of table manners.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm considering poison.
Do you have any poison?
Not on me, but there's a big, beautiful world out there, Bonsai. There's so much shit out there that you can accidentally poison your dog to death with.
There is an alarming amount, yes.
Presumably, there is also a shocking amount of stuff you could accidentally poison your hyena to death with if keeping hyenas was a thing more people did.
Presumably.
But I definitely don't have anything on me. And I am worried, again, worst case scenario, get trapped in food bowl of hyenas. And that's a pretty bad worst case.
Yeah.
Okay. What left is there for me to infiltrate? It sounds like a couple of towers and another building.
Yes.
I would like to try the non-tower building first, if I can find a way to wriggle in there.
That is on the other side of the fort. A good 100 or so feet off.
If there is a tower in between that building and... okay, then I'll go straight for it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a...
Stealth?
Yeah. See how ordinary chipmunk you can behave.
Oh dear.
Well, I guess the part where I'm whistling and sashaying probably isn't doing me any favors.
Not really. Okay.
You are definitely a normal monk of chips, but you're not a normal chipmunk.
So, good news, bad news.
Give me the bad news first, please.
The regular hyenas and dire hyenas are looking at you much in the way of ball.
That's not fantastic. Don't love that. What's my good news?
The regular gnolls didn't really even take much note of you until the other hyenas started looking at you.
Oh, I liked what you were saying until the until part. I think maybe it's a good idea to skedoodle.
Skadiddly?
Probably not a bad idea, especially as one of them's coming at you with a broom.
Enraged chipmunk noises and fleeing is the...
Back up and over the wall before you get swept out with a broom.
Yes, I will say the most chipmunk-like part of the behavior is the part where she does cuss him out from the top of the wall in chipmunk for a couple seconds before running.
Yeah, sounds about accurate for chipmunk behavior.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to regroup.
Okay.
All right.
All right, mammals. The ball has returned.
Okay.
Okay, so the good news is I know how we get in.
How?
At the entrance, she explains everything she saw, concluding with, and I tried to get more information, but I was pretty sure the guy was going to kill me with a broom.
Well, at least we have an idea of what we're up against now.
So there's 4 total watchtowers, 3 by the entrance and 1 on the back.
That's how many I saw, yeah. And also a building that wasn't a tower. No
How
idea
many
what's going on
gnolls
with
did
that,
you
though.
see? How many gnolls did you see total?
I regret to inform you that Lantern is staring into space as you ask this because Carrie can't do the math. Well, there were like 3 on the first tower, and then there were a couple more on the other towers, and then there were a few who were taking care of the hyenas. And then there were a skosh in the other buildings, and I heard a few in another building, but I couldn't see inside the building because of the building.
Okay. So they outnumber us by probably 2 to 3 to 1.
Sounds like it.
Okay. So this is going to be another case of trying to divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
I am not running another one of those combat situations. That was a mess.
That was a hilarious mess.
Well, the only downside to this one compared to the other one is that's on top of a hill. So
Well,
we're not
yeah.
going to be able to
Way
sneak up
bigger and
onto
tougher.
it.
Like way bigger and tougher. I should state they looked very, very tough. Like they looked like what if the other hyenas, not hyenas, the other gnolls that we encountered, what if they lifted a lot more weights?
Hmm.
Hmm.
You know, I heard of this really neat spell called Meteor Swarm.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Does it make swarms more meaty?
I have a feeling Dice is going to tell me what I can and can't know about it.
Because that is
13.
9th level magic.
Oh, I couldn't cast it even.
It's
Whatever.
more the grounds of the rarity of people getting the ability to use 9th level magic.
Oh, well, yeah. It's like I heard of this spell in which you get these great big flaming rocks and you throw them at people, and that would be perfect.
You've heard
Can
of
any of us-
you've heard of minute meteor,
Okay.
which we add as Xanathar's, but I think that's a wizard and sorcerer spell.
Well, yeah, except I'm neither. Yeah,
It
it's
is
a
my
wizard and
Xanathar's.
sorcerer, so I wouldn't be able to cast it anyway.
Yeah, none of us can throw meteors at people, Dori.
I didn't say it was useful. I just said I'd heard of it and it'd be really neat if we could.
It would probably be easy to invisibly poison the hyenas.
I wonder how many of the people we could invisibly poison.
Uh,
I couldn't
Have
smell a
poison?
kitchen. Like I couldn't find a specific place that was a kitchen, and nothing smelled kitchen-y. That doesn't mean there isn't a kitchen. It could just be, you know, they haven't cooked anything smelly in a while. But I get the impression that most of what they cook is pretty smelly.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have poison?
We have woods.
Huh?
Berries? All kinds of berries are supposed to.
She just sort of gestures out towards the wilderness and then back at Vellos, looking a little bit confused.
Mama always told me not to eat anything out in the woods because it was probably poisonous.
Okay, to be fair, Dice did say this isn't a proper forest.
Well, yeah, but Dory's
It is a natural area, is what she's saying.
Yeah, Dory's also a city girl, Vellos. It may not be an actual forest, but it's...
No, I'm pretty sure if I spend enough time looking, I can find at least some things that there were. Oh my gosh, I wish I could find some of those mushrooms that make you see like sounds. That would be great. That would cause a lot of problems for them.
Well, it certainly would be chaotic.
Oh yeah, they're really fun, but you get in trouble because you do things that you don't quite have capacity
find
for.
those? Please don't include those in the group food.
Okay, just mine.
Oh dear.
Oh Lord.
Anyways.
Okay, but yeah, we can send Vellos out to forage for poisons. They probably have really tough systems, though. They're probably harder to poison than the average bear.
From what I remember from the previous gnolls, they eat just about everything.
Yeah, which makes them harder to poison.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
I see a single vegetable in their larder.
Actually, no. If they mostly eat meat, then there's going to be a lot of plants that they could potentially find poisonous. Lantern would also like to look for anything, generic dog poison.
I mean, I can hit one person, maybe if I'm lucky, and paralyze them. But that's one of them.
If we take out the hyenas, it will be a lot of help to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'd come out with the hyenas.
Not if we get into there in advance and poison them.
Yeah, but poisoning them's no fun. How am I supposed to fight things that are poisoned?
Well, you don't. You fight the other ones that we're not poisoning.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of them that won't be poisoned. There'll be plenty for you to fight, Fiona.
I'm pretty sure there's at least 12.
Yeah. Do you really want to try fighting 12 without lowering the numbers a little bit?
Oh, no, I mean 12 and then on top of that, more hyenas.
Well, I meant gnolls.
Maybe.
Oh dear.
But if you all want to poison them, go ahead.
Well, the problem is
I am outvoted, so that's all that matters.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I would be happy to hear any other ideas. She looks hopefully at Fiona and Vellos. Wide, expectant eyes, waiting for you to really blow her away with your idea about how to deal with this.
That's the funny thing, he doesn't have one.
Right? Which is why Fiona wasn't complaining other than saying that it wouldn't be fun. She didn't say it's a bad idea, just said it wouldn't be fun.
Honestly, that's very similar to Vellos' reasoning. Not much.
Okay, what would be fun, Vellos? Wide,
Fighting them?
hopeful eyes. Hunting them?
Fighting them.
Oh. Okay, how do we do that and not die?
That
Yeah, not dying is very important here.
true. Admittedly drawing a blank on that.
Okay, I am going to let you guys come up with your better idea than poisoning them, and I'm going to go out and look for poison.
Well, crap.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check. In your search for Louis. Not sure if it'd be survival or nature. Shoot.
Well, if I'm rolling nature with wisdom, it's the same roll either way.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm
I guess
just
do one
gonna
then.
make it. I know that hyenas are not dogs. I don't think Lantern does know this.
Well, in your searching, you are finding some things that are generally just some plants that are generally just you want to avoid, period. Though in regards to toxicity, this is unless you have the tools and means to start really concentrating things, at most you've got the tools for a skin irritant.
I have an herbalism kit.
That's not a poisoner's kit.
Okay. Anything that will make the dogs mad and potentially fight each other or their handlers instead of us is sort of what I'm going for. So if I can feed them poison ivy, even if it doesn't kill them, it makes them fractious, difficult, and uncomfortable. That's still a big enough advantage that I think it is worth pursuing.
You are able to find stinging nettle, poison ivy, things in that nature. You're not finding on that roll. You are not finding.
Not looking for lethal poison, even.
Yeah,
I'm just looking
yeah.
for something that's going to give us an edge. And so you guys do see Lantern come back very carefully holding herbs in a bag, not touching it with her hands.
Give me a nature check on extracting that. I should say on harvesting it.
That's an 11.
You're going to be a little itchy.
So it goes. Fortunately, I don't have a handler to bite, so...
And there's Vellos.
Yeah, she wouldn't bite him, though.
Why would you bite Vellos?
She wouldn't, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That would be terrible. She would feel bad about it.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
You're more liable to break your teeth. Unless you've got a mouth like a knoll, I guess.
Exactly.
I think a kobold would also work.
It's not just that she likes him and doesn't want to bite him, it's that she thinks she might potentially snap off a canine tooth.
It'll grow back.
I mean, it might. I don't know how kobolds work.
Kind of like sharks when it comes to teeth.
That explains why she's been able to eat such an assortment of large rocks.
Well, you have yourselves some poison ivy.
I think this one might be poison sumac. Very exotic. Don't touch it, though. And if you do touch it, if you do touch it, don't rub your eye with that hand.
Lantern says, staring at her hand with an overwhelming, temptatious urge.
No, she's just saying this very matter-of-factly while one of her eyes is significantly redder than the other.
Oh, I see. She already succumbed to temptation.
Oh dear.
Oh, well.
Well, okay, so Lantern is at disadvantage for visual checks for about an hour.
Ouch.
She spends this hour probably sorting through the poison ivy using a bag on each hand. Getting it sort of shredded enough that she can potentially incorporate it in warg food. Sorry, hyena food. They're not wargs.
I mean, they could be.
They could be. I've been playing a game with wargs in it all day. My brain's on wargs, but... Either way, she produces a bag of shredded leaf stuff and says proudly, "Hyena poison!"
You know, one upgrade we might want to think about for the wagon is a cannon.
I mean, we do have a railbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think that's very good at, like, busting into a fort, though.
How tall are the walls?
20 feet.
How many feet?
20.
20?
Yes.
Hmm. Alright, so after we poison the hyenas, what do we do?
Now that's a great question.
Because that's still not going to really help us get in there.
No. I mean, I might be able to fly one of our smaller party members above the wall. Definitely can't take somebody like Thorn, though.
No, but you could take Fiona, which is a much smaller package of a similar size punch.
True.
Hmm. Yeah. If we get too close, they're going to start shooting arrows at us if we go from the front. Because there's 3 towers over there.
Well, we could always make
The
a
back
distraction
at least only
across
has one.
cross in a different place, but that would require splitting one person off to make the distraction.
Yeah, no, that's not really a good idea.
Mm-mm.
Not with that many of them. Yeah, the whole problem is just getting in there.
I've got to take a quick peekarooski at one of my favorite cantrips.
Are you thinking of digging a tunnel?
Of course I am thinking about digging a tunnel.
She's a
Which
kobold.
I'm thinking it might be fun to undermine their wall.
Ooh, that would be useful.
Would that even... Would that actually work?
Well, depending on how good the foundation these Knoll architects built was.
Would you begin to feel like with your experience in dungeons, nobody's building these things?
Well, then it depends on whether the magic gave it a good foundation or not, then.
I mean, if Vellos is going to fly anyone in, it's probably better to be me because I have the ability to slow fall.
I think maybe what we should do is attack from a couple of sides at once.
That makes sense.
And if we can do that in a way that causes them problems, like poison and undermining, that could be helpful.
Especially if some of you guys go in at the bottom while the other couple of other us go in from the top.
I think I would be best going in from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do we want to try attacking at night?
That would
I don't know
probably
if
be
we
better.
have better night vision than them.
I have no idea what kind of vision gnolls have at night.
True.
But it would be easier for us to get close at night.
And I do have a light spell.
As do... It's like, do I? I thought I did.
You have dancing lights.
Yeah. I have a cantrip.
Yes. Light is also a cantrip.
Yes.
Yeah. I can just touch my shield, say a few words, and boom, free torch.
Thankfully, it doesn't actually boom, but you're still illuminating yourself at the darks.
It
I
was
would
for
like to try
emphasis.
maybe we go poison the hyenas now, and then we pull back, wait, see, and then attack at night.
Think whatever you've cooked up will last that long?
Well, I mean, if you get it directly on yourself, poison ivy can be a couple of days.
Huh.
How long would it take you to build a tunnel into there?
Let me double check that. 6 seconds per 5 feet.
We're like a mile away from
Oh, are we digging a tunnel all of the way there? Because if that's the case, then somebody else can poison these dogs and Lantern will start now.
Well,
It's 1,000
How do we-
turns.
how are we gonna poison them?
1,000 seconds, 600 minutes, 6 hours of mold earth cantrip casting.
I would really.
I mean, I'll do it if Vellos asks me to.
No, no, that.
You should probably dig the tunnel closer to the wall.
Yeah,
But that was sort of what I was envisioning, yeah.
Yeah, we do that when we. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
When we approach in the night. How are we delivering the poison?
I found their food bowl. I'm going to put it in their food bowl.
Oh. Fun.
I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't think any of you are at risk of doing this because it has the word poison in the name, but you shouldn't eat it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Make sure to avoid plants like that.
I saw a guy do it once, and it was bad.
Understood.
Right, so the plan. What is your guys' plan of inaction?
Plan is, we get the hyena poison in the food bowl. At nightfall, we simultaneously have a dragon airdrop a rat on top of the fortress while a fucking lizard tunnels underneath the wall to try to knock it down.
Or at the very least, just
Dig a tunnel to get everybody else inside.
That is, well, that's the goal, ideally, like, in the beginning, but you can do two things with a tunnel, you know? And as long as we potentially might knock a wall over, Lantern thinks we should.
Probably get everybody inside first, so we don't have a wall collapsing into the tunnel while people are in there.
Can do, unless it goes poorly.
Okay, so
Would you be able to make a tunnel big enough for Thorn?
She squints at Thorn for a moment and says, Mr. Strong, you are definitely going to have to bend over pretty far.
okay.
She can make a 5-foot tunnel, so presumably while crouching he could get through it, but it would be tight.
Well, this sounds like the foundations of a plan.
So you said there were 3 people in that first watchtower.
Yes.
Is there going to be enough room in that watchtower for Vellos and I to get in there at the same time?
He may need to drop you off.
The words arena come to mind, but don't forget it was covered. Or it is covered.
Those are big watchtowers then, damn.
At least the one tower in the north. The others seem to be more standard archery towers.
Okay.
Is there a way into the watchtower other than the openings?
Like the other 3?
No, the main one. So if I was dropped off outside the watchtower, a good way to get in there.
Just from the roof of the other building.
Okay. So Vellos and Fiona can land on that roof with the stairs and get into the watchtower that way without taking too many arrows to the face. Because I think taking out the ones in the watchtower will help because they're going to be shooting arrows at everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I agree.
And then while they're all freaking out over people airdropped on the roofs, it'll take them time to get to the rest of to me and Vellos anyway. Everyone else pops up out of the ground.
Hmm.
Alright.
This is of course, assuming we get close enough to the wall for this plan before they spot us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we really don't know what kind of dark vision these guys have.
Do you
We
think
don't.
before we do the infiltration we could take a break?
Yeah. No, we can definitely go ahead and take a break right now if you need to.
Hell yeah.
Ugh.
Yay, break.
we'll go and take a break.
Yeah.
Pause it here.
I have a birthday cake to get to, you see.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Ah.
Pausing it
Your
just to get your
birthday.
cake.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, everybody, from your breaks. Through the power of the pause recording button, it was instantaneous.
Yay, time travel.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Okay, so from what I've gathered so far, you have collected poison ivy. You plan to tunnel under the wall.
Well, first we plan to feed the poison ivy to the hyenas, but I'm not sure if I'm actually the one doing that or if I'm going straight to tunneling.
I think we
Yes,
should
that
probably
comes-
do that first. If you think it'll last for longer than a few hours.
I think it should, assuming it does the same thing that poison ivy does to, me.
Speaking of which, go ahead and roll a con save for what you did to your eye.
Awesome. Let me find out what my con save is. Had to put in the fucking flavor text, Carrie, didn't you?
Hey, you're the one who decided to succumb to the impulse instead of just staring at your hand with the impulse.
Yeah, I don't do super great on that Constitution saving throw.
No, you're still you're still functionally blind in one eye.
It's all right. You don't need eyes for tunneling. Just gotta follow your heart.
But you might need eyes to find the dog food bowl.
Well, that's what I have the other one for.
All your visual checks are at disadvantage.
Oh.
Okay. So
All right. So first step is try and poison these guys.
How?
What was that?
How?
That is a great question. I think it would probably make sense for me to entreat my friend who can make me invisible to help by make me invisible.
She will do so. Also, she would have done her audience this morning.
Yes.
So how many am I roll?
Relatively calm area. Doesn't see a whole lot of much of anything going on here. What dice with that again? I just. It's bards. Bards.
Page 302.
3d6. Well, no, I would give it. Make it 4d6.
So we've got a scholar, 2 scoundrels, and a steward.
Something with team
So
of
I will give.
rapscallions.
Yeah. So Thorn gets the steward. I have to decide whether to give. I'm going to take the scholar.
You're going to haunt yourself with the scholar?
Yep.
Okay.
Which one is that?
That's the one that gives the extra d6 force damage
Oh, yes.
on the cantrips. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some other effects too. Like I can cast the Ray of Frost, which I should actually pull up.
Okay, yes. You have to have it manifested, but...
Yeah, I have to manifest.
Yeah.
But
Remember
But for now, it's just haunting her.
Just remember that takes up a bardic inspiration to manifest.
Yes, it does.
Other than that,
Just
passively,
like-
you get a +1 to your saving throws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. +1 to my saving throws. I mean, as I said, there's a couple of other things, but that's the biggie.
Yep.
So after we poison the dogs, we have to wait till nightfall. About how far off is that? Or how long off is that?
It's about midday.
Okay, so we could probably get a long rest in.
Yeah, probably. Problem is, you already long
Okay.
rested like 5 hours ago.
Power naps.
Find something to fill your time with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The important thing is that we're resting so that Dori and Lantern can get spells back.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I think poison the dogs, then come back, then go back and assault the fortress is the right order to do stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll be invisibling Lantern again. Are you turning into a chipmunk again as you go in there, Lantern, or...?
I think if I turn into a chipmunk, it will be harder to poison them.
Okay.
And I want to save turning into something for when I'm escaping and turn into something fast.
That makes sense.
Yep. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So I guess an invisible lantern is going to attempt to infiltrate and poison dog food.
That's the hope.
How are you getting in?
That, you know what? Since I'm going to be having a long rest, I think probably the way that I'm going to do this is going to be I turn into something small and climby, sneak in, and then use my second wild shape of this rest.
I thought we were doing the long rest after poisoning the dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I go ahead and burn both of my wild shapes here, and then I'll get them back after a long rest, I believe.
Okay, so how much are you... So, what are you turning into? Because this will affect how much stuff you can carry.
I don't think I've probably seen an ape.
Closest you've seen is a human, and those don't count as animals.
No. Let's see. Looking at stuff that climbs, black bears can climb quite well, but they're definitely conspicuous.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could fly.
That.
Am I able to like carry stuff, transform, and then have the stuff when I transform back?
I need to look at the Now I have to actually bring up the Druid and the player's handbook. Because that is a good question, and I do not have a direct answer.
I've never played a druid before, so I also don't have an answer.
It's been a long time since I played a druid. 3.5 long time.
I
Ooh,
see.
That
1E.
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah,
Okay,
I played
let's
a
see
Druid
what
in first
shape.
edition, so
Okay, so you choose whether your equipment falls to the ground in your space, merges into your new form, or is worn by it. Worn equipment functions as normal, but the DM decides whether it is practical for the new form to wear a piece of equipment based on the creature's shape and size. Your equipment doesn't change size or shape to match the new form, and any equipment that the new form can't wear must either fall to the ground or merge with it. Equipment that merges with the form has no effect until you leave the form.
Okay, then it
That's-
sounds like I will potentially be able to turn into something while carrying it, turn back into it, use it, and then dash.
That's also interesting in regards to magical equipment. Like amulets and stuff.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, either way, I think what I am going to do is choose to merge the stuff with my new form,
Okay.
turn into a squirrel or similar climbing small innocuous animal,
Okay.
and
So that would be two wild
using that
shapes.
and invisibility, sneak into the location. Change out when I see an opportune time, slip the poison in, and get as far as I can before turning back into something and scarburing.
So is this before or after
Can
the
you-
long rest?
Before.
How many wild shapes
You've
do you
already-
have?
Fuck, I only have two. I only have two total.
Yeah, you've already burned one.
Then I'm going to be escaping this raw dog style.
Well, I was going to suggest something else, but if you want to take that approach.
I mean, Lantern is considering her options, and if you have a suggestion, I would not be averse to knowing it because I'm clueless.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check as you're considering your options. Just a raw wisdom check.
I am 18 amount of wisdom.
Have you considered going in the opposite direction with how you get in and get out? Considering you're going to be invisible.
So invisible, but the thing is, I don't know that I, as a kobold, am capable of scaling a 10-foot wall.
Climb check.
Huh?
Athletics check. It would be an athletics check to get over the wall.
I don't think I have any athletics. Yeah, I have a +1 to athletics and no proficiency.
Well, congratulations. That means you are a kobold.
So, yeah, you know what? I think I am going to try it and attempt to get over there invisibly. So athletics check.
Wow. Excuse me. So while you are invisible,
Attempt to climb the wall invisibly.
It's a 13.
it's a little slow going, but it's performable.
There aren't enough gaps in the stones for my little kobold claws to get much purchase, so I'm kind of scrabbling.
You are very much so the definition of scrabbling, but you're invisibly scrabbling.
And that's what really counts.
Which, as you get up and over to the other side of the wall, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Would she have advantage on this since she's invisible?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
no, invisibility
seems
doesn't
fine.
give advantage to stealth checks.
Oof.
That seems kind of dumb.
That's a 9.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I got an 8 on the hyena's ability to sniff you out.
I'll take it. That does make me feel any better, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to the book incident. Tell you later.
Anyway, with my incredible stealth of fucking 9,
Oh,
I
interesting.
sneak in and get a big old bag of poison ivy thoroughly mixed with anything in their food.
So now you're actually tinkering and tampering with something. Go ahead and give me another stealth check. And does invisibility drop while she's tampering with stuff, or is it only on attacks?
No, it's attacks or spells.
Okay.
So as long as all she's doing is mixing stuff up, it doesn't drop.
That is a 17.
All right, and then this is going to be for both the gnolls and the hyenas. Interesting. So some of the hyenas are coming over to investigate what you're doing with the gnolls, but the gnolls who are in the area are just not paying attention at all.
I'm gonna back away and continue backing away as sneakily as possible
Okay.
until I have backed all of the way that there is to back. And at that point, wild shape, squirrel.
Let's go ahead and while they're not approaching you, they are definitely investigating their food dish. And they are being growly at it. As you make your way out.
Well, either they will eat some of it, or they won't eat anything and they'll be particularly pissed off and difficult to work with.
Oh, maybe if they're hungry, they won't be as effective.
Or maybe they'll be more likely to straight up take a bite out of their handler. They did not seem to have a great deal of affectionate raising of these beasts.
Who knows? Maybe the gnolls will see the hyenas aren't eating and they'll eat their food instead.
I mean, that would be nice, but Lantern's not going to hold out hope for it. She's just going to skitter back to you guys.
That makes sense.
Okay. A moment to wait and see.
And now we await the cover of night.
So what are you guys doing while you are waiting for the cover of night?
Well, we're taking
Taking
a
a
long rest.
Rest.
Hey, Bruno.
Yeah.
Want to play some low stakes cards, aka no gambling?
Sure.
All right.
Twist his arm. Wait,
Bruno and Fiona are playing card game.
Okay.
I think Lantern is probably mostly fucking washing her eye out until she just goes to bed.
Con save.
Christ. That's a 5.
Not high enough.
She's still blinded in an eye.
She'll recover at the end of the long rest at this rate.
Oh no.
Hey, as long as she's recovered by the time we go in there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna go to bed before the rest of you do, and if you want food, you're gonna eat your rations.
That's fair.
Okay.
Lantern did a lot.
Partially because she's a little bit worried that she might somehow still have it on her hands after she's washed her hands like 15 fucking times. And she really doesn't want you guys to experience the same thing the hyenas are.
We thank you for this consideration.
Yes.
Also, the
this
fact
is a
that
good
cooking
thing.
is a visual check.
That is also a component. Lantern is going to have hard cheese and crackers from her rations.
The good stuff.
Yeehaw.
Okay. Well, anything anyone else is doing over the course of the long rest, or shall we jump to nightfall?
Jump to nightfall.
Okay, jumping to nightfall it is then. And as the night approaches, what shall you do?
So, Vellos, you are able to fly at night, yes?
Flying should be no problem, even at night.
Okay. I just know you're not the best at seeing in the dark.
No, can't see very well, but
Well,
I don't know.
if
It's
Assuming
that's
they
the issue,
Assuming they have
at
fire.
least, if Vellos in particular being able to see is an issue, then I can at least share my dark vision with him. For actually, let's see. Hold on. How many is it? It's up to my wisdom modifier. So I can share my dark vision with 4 of us for 1 hour.
Well, I think that would probably be Dori, Vellos, and Thorn.
Yeah.
I have low light vision, not dark vision.
And y'all are
So long-
not exactly pleased with the weather. It's not raining, but it is still impregnably cloudy.
Yeah.
Now I can only do it once per long rest, unless I expend a spell slot, and it only lasts for an hour. But no concentration, and 4 creatures within 10 feet of me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we
fine.
probably do that after sneaking closer to the walls and before we split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Lantern has dark vision, you have dark vision.
Well,
I
this
have
is
low
less than
light.
100 feet, so
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, since Lantern probably doesn't need it, I guess I can take it as the 4th slot since I've got low light and not true dark.
So who all is being
So
included
at least-
in this?
all right.
Yes,
Dori, Vellos, and
Thorn.
Thorn, I think, are 3,
Okay.
and we
Yeah.
can add. I can go up to 4. So-
If he can do 4, and he can't do it again if he just skips the person anyway, then you might as well just do all 4 at once.
Yeah.
That is Fiona's logic.
Sensible.
Yeah,
And Bruno fully agrees with it.
do that
Yes.
once we get close to the wall before we start
Be-
the infiltration.
Because I would feel much better being carried by someone who can see what they're
Why I
doing.
brought it up.
It's that extra
I
customer
appreciate that.
satisfaction that makes Vellos Airlines the choice of rats everywhere.
Yes, he works with a Twilight Domain
Another
cleric.
question, Vellos. Would you rather carry me or have me on your back? I don't know how flying works.
I need my back to be mostly free to use my wings.
Okay. Then you'll have to carry me.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just want to make sure I know how this is all working before we get there.
Fair enough. Ugh, damn yawns.
Don't be doing that. You're gonna make me do it.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
All right, so under the cover of darkness, I assume we are sneaking towards the walls.
Yes. Now you may have your advantage to stealth checks.
All right.
Okay, so it's gonna be a straight
Okay.
roll for me. How far can we get before we need to make them?
1d4. I think as soon as we all start approaching as a group, we have to make them.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So just make 'em.
Advantage spells, you said, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Which, Bruno, I believe you still have Thorn's character sheet, so if you can roll for him.
Yeah. Sorry, that was Bruno.
Stealth.
Ooh, yes.
In the dark.
Okay.
Yep, with advantage.
Straight roll for me.
Oh, that's a good thing.
1.
Yeah, better than. I'm not
Better
gonna
than
do that.
disadvantage.
Give me a second to pull up Thorn's sheet.
I've got a 24.
I wait for everybody
You
else.
know, you know,
Ooh,
an average 10 isn't actually all that bad considering it's just straight with a +1.
right?
I thought we got advantage.
We did.
I'm in heavy
but
armor. I
Vellos
don't.
always has disadvantage normally.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. Got it. Got
Yeah.
I am Mr. Clank Clank Clank. I don't stealth.
it. Dori, on the other hand, is ghosting along.
Thorn's right along there with Vellos.
Vellos.
Which you forgot to roll straight because it is advantaged. But we'll just stick with the 9.
He
No, he
doesn't-
rolled a 2d20.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought Thorn was wearing heavy
Wait.
armor.
Thorn has no bonuses.
no, yeah, no, he has scale mail. I misread it.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
He's wearing an armor that does imply disadvantages, but
He's
that's
wearing-
fine.
Yep, I misread
Right, some
that.
of the
That was my
mediums
fault.
do that too. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd forgotten about that.
all right.
Okay. So what are we totaling at?
Fiona and Dori both got 24.
Well, despite the
Lantern
less,
got 21. That's a lot of 20s. Nice.
despite
And
the
Bruno
less
got
than
20.
sneaky nature of 2 of your party members, you're able to as a group you're able to move up onto the wall. Or up to the wall.
All right, cool. This will make tunneling a lot easier for you, Lantern.
Yes.
All right. So, pop the extra dark vision. Lantern starts tunneling. I take Fiona up.
So where are you guys standing in relation to the wall?
Under it soon, if I'm lucky.
Well, yes, but I should say in relation to the interior structures.
We probably came up towards that one back watchtower.
Okay.
I think that was the plan, to take that one out.
Yeah.
And since Lantern kind of knows the interior layout, she would know where to come up from tunneling.
Yeah.
Okay, so as
Then
you
Vellos
guys,
was-
as you guys trigger your dark vision and look up to get ready to climb, you see one of the gnolls leaning over the side of the wall. And then hold out a hand, kind of looking up expectantly at the sky before retreating back in.
Okay.
He was looking up at the sky and holding out his hand?
Yeah.
He's waiting for the rain.
Oh. That makes
We're looking
sense.
for the rain. Yeah.
All right, then.
How far up is the central watchtower?
The southern watchtower you are climbing up is 30 feet up.
Alright. Well, I can reach that in one go, then.
So is everybody moving up, or is just Vellos flying Fiona up there?
Yeah, Vellos and Fiona are going up, and I believe everyone else is tunneling under the wall.
Yeah.
So we can probably wait until everyone is... Well, Lantern has a tunnel big enough to get everyone under, and then we can go up. And then while you and I are distracting them, Vellos, they come up in the middle of the place and cause havoc. I think. That was the plan, right?
In the middle, or
That's the plan.
wherever they can cause the most mayhem, I guess.
Okay.
Well, they will come up wherever it is they come up. We don't know where that will be.
Okay. Interesting plan.
Yeah, and if it looks like we're gonna get overwhelmed, I can grab Fiona and
Fly away.
regroup with the others pretty quickly.
Fly, scaly bird, fly.
I mean, if Vellos goes to pick her up because they're surrounded, Fiona will definitely let her. Or let him.
Yep. Okay. Just take apart this
Or if the others look overwhelmed, they can just go join them anyway.
Give me 1 second. I made the mistake of assuming you guys was coming from another direction.
Oh.
Surprise!
No,
Yeah.
I should have known
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Vellos
thought we
and
were
Fiona
going
were
to
going to
go in
take
the
out...
door.
Vellos and Fiona were going to take out 3 in the watchtower.
Okay, so where are you guys for those tunneling in? Where are you coming in from?
I'm hoping to come up through the courtyard.
Okay, so you guys are going to be moving in along the western side of the wall. As you remember, there is... Well, you guys can either come in through the northern side of the wall and come in on the archery range, or the western side of the wall and come in from into the hyena pen.
Excuse me.
I'd prefer not to go into the hyena pen.
Okay. Would the
So
hyena
the other
marker
option
make you feel any better?
I'm sorry?
I said, would the hyena marker make you feel any better?
I can't see anything, so I'd know.
Yeah, that was a pun.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Oh.
I did.
Hyena
Hence my
pen.
sigh.
Hyena pen.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
That was...
Man, it's my birthday. I don't have to get jokes today.
fair.
I guess that's acceptable. Oh, how did this place become so cluttered?
Very carefully.
It really did. I was moving things around to look at them, and then suddenly it's a mess. Okay, so you cannot fly directly onto the one tower because it is roofed. But
Yep, we were going to land on near the stairwell on that nearby roof.
Where did I put my stairs? Where are my stairs? Okay. We have to rebuild everything. It's fine, you guys will get a partial rebuild. I need more walls. But walls are expensive.
This is why when I was DMing, I used a dry erase marker and like a map on the table with
Yes,
the dry erase
and
board.
I absolutely could, but walls. I got props.
It's not as fun as playing with Legos, no.
Okay, there we go. It's just one of the things where it's like, okay, I've got everything put together. It's like, oh, now I got to take it all apart because you guys are coming in from a different direction. Okay. This wall is interior, so don't mind it. Or there's a door right here. It's interior. Don't mind it. You guys are on the roof.
All right.
Okay.
However, those of you coming in from the ground floor will see that there is a
door there.
Here.
Okay.
Because there is a wall here. So, Vellos, Fiona, on the ceiling, there is a beautiful. There's a hatch right here.
Okay, so that will go into the building below.
Yes. All of you guys coming in through here. There's a wall behind you. The wall hooks like that to the next tower. I hate that die. Why does it exist? That die is an atrocity.
That's what I said last time I stepped on a D4.
Well, this thing's a D12, but it's a diamond that you have to spin like a top.
What?
Hmm.
That sounds silly.
Some novelty dice should not exist. Alternatively,
Can
there's
we
this
see it?
D6 shaped like a sword.
Huh.
It feels more like a dagger to me.
No, that would be the D4.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
a
weird
diamond.
D20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impractical.
Why? Why?
Because novelty dice shapes.
It's like I could see how it would be fun to have, but impractical to use.
Like the D6 short sword. This one's really more of just, I guess, decorative. It doesn't roll that great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it would.
No.
It's really lightweight, and combined with that pointed shape does not make for good rolling. Anyways, okay. So this is where everybody is, relatively speaking. Plan of action.
Are we
There-
seeing any gnolls yet?
From where you guys are standing and you guys are standing, you guys can see torchlights from here. You can see torchlights in the three towers. From where you guys are standing, you cannot see the torches here. You can see them in the three other uncovered towers. And yes,
We should-
those do have patrols.
I think we should get into this tower.
Yep.
Into here.
Yep.
Yep.
Scooch in.
Okay, so as you guys are coming into there, you will be met with. How are you entering?
Through the door?
Well, are you just barging in? Are you sneaking in?
I'd like to try to snake myself.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Is it with
You're
or
moving into the
neutral?
designated area.
So no advantage. Done for.
Correct.
All right.
Well, Dori and Lantern are pretty sneaky.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I already have at that area.
Sorry, I forgot I was already in my skills. Bruno did crap
Oof.
this time. And I think Thorn's with them, so...
Yes.
So Lantern sneaks in like a little
20.
shadow. Dori sneaks in right after her similarly, and then you two guys trip over the threshold on your way in.
Well, let's see how Thorn actually does.
Because he could get two
Fail.
high rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could.
13.
Yeah,
So-
a 17 and a
Not bad.
13 is not
Yeah.
that bad. Especially compared to Bruno's...
It's just Bruno who trips over the thresholds.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who were expecting things to go easy, I put things out of reach of myself because I'm a professional.
Oh.
Things away and I keep needing them later.
This is the part where shit hits the fan, isn't it?
Of course
Always
it is.
Absolutely. We have an escape tunnel, though.
Which is always good.
Am I being sassed with my headset off?
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Because I would have
No.
said completely understandable. Okay, so as you guys are coming into this room, what would have been expected silence is broken by Bruno tripping over the threshold and causing a clanking of his armor, which there are a few gnolls in here that were sleeping against the walls, totally on the job,
Mhm.
Of course.
until you guys woke him up with your loud entry.
We could have murdered them quietly in their sleep, but unfortunately.
Did Vellos and I hear that loud noise below us?
Go and roll perception.
Okay.
Ooh, 21.
Team.
Fiona, you heard it, and you get an idea of who it was.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
One of our team made noise down below us.
Shit.
The delightful noise of metal armor. All right.
Sounded metal, so it wasn't Dori or Lantern.
Initiative's probably getting rolled now, huh?
Yeah, probably. It's our favorite thing to roll.
So now the main question, Vellos, is do we go after the three in the watchtower or go down there to help our group?
Might be a good idea to go help them. Well, at least I'm not single digits initiative this time around.
Yay!
This initiative is a great roll. So 1d20.
Okay.
Fire.
Oh, poor Thorn.
Ah, I feel his pain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's everybody rolled.
Oh,
I believe so.
All right. 25 to 20.
22.
Okay. 19 to 15.
19.
14 to 10.
13 for Fiona.
10 for Vellos.
Okay. 9 to 5.
9 for Bruno.
And then 4 to 1.
2 for Thorn.
Oh, poor Thorn going last. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take from the top. From your guys' in here. These guys are waking up rather angrily. There's a spiral staircase right here going up. There's a door here. What shall you do? And why?
Well, we're fighting,
Yes.
and Lantern is first, I'm assuming.
That would be correct. That would be a correct assumption.
So what she's gonna do is, you see those two super cool dudes chilling out by the west wall?
Yeah.
There's a beautiful spot right between them where Moonbeam would fit so good.
Okay.
Gotta love that spell.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
Beamer. Okay. Yes. So they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
So we put a Unibunny right here. Moonbeam, and then con saves. What's the spell DC?
13.
13. Okay, they both pass.
They both take 6 radiant damage.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to huddle sort of against the wall because there isn't really a convenient friend to hide behind. We're all pretty much in the same place. So if I could just move one closer to that wall.
This wall?
Yep. Actually, could you move me even one more, just like so I'm against it? Perfect. Thank you. That'll be my turn.
Okay. You said, what was the damage you rolled again? Okay. 6. And that will take things over to Dori.
okay. Dori is going to, looking over at the eastern wall, is going to point at the guy farthest down the line and go, "You're about as sharp as a bag of holding full of hammers."
Which one?
Hmm?
I said, which one was that again?
The guy on the eastern wall down at the, all the way down at the back
Oh.
by the stairs. That guy, yeah.
All right, that is a...
That is a, hang on a second, I don't have the right thing standing in front of me at the moment.
That is 6... sorry, wrong stat. That is
It
a
is
7.
a wisdom save. Yeah, wisdom. 7 doesn't.
Okay.
He needs a 14. So he's going to take 8 damage.
Split between...
4 is psychic damage and 4 is necrotic damage.
Okay. And he's disadvantaged on next attack.
Mm-hmm. And
Which is
she's basically
fine.
going to hang out where she is.
Sensible. All right. Fiona, you're up.
Alright, well, hearing that our group was below us, and there's this lovely hatch in the ceiling,
Yes.
Fiona is going to go ahead and run over to the hatch, and is it locked?
Do you want to check, or do you just want to pull the handle?
She's probably just going to pull the handle, and if it's locked, it won't move.
It swings open. It's heavy, but it swings
Excellent.
open. That'll be your action.
Okay. How many movement feet does it take to get to the hatch?
Let's see here. Sorry, the risers are on a square grid, and you guys are on a hex. Hang on. So I got
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to get to the hatch.
Okay. Well, with it open, she will go ahead and move 15 feet down the stairs since she's got 40 feet of movement.
Okay, so you are basically 5 feet to the floor.
Okay. Well, she's got her weapons ready, and now she's another distraction. So they don't all go for those 4. Now that's 5 on 5. Ha ha ha.
Okay. That's going to take it to these guys. Okay, so he's going to draw his... So he's going to draw his spear and move up. 5, 10, 15, 20... Okay, 25. Now, we'll say these guys are wearing chain shirts. He's going to make a 2-handed spear attack against you, Bruno.
Okay.
Well, that's... Does an 11 hit?
No.
All right. Next attack. How's about a 17?
Still no. I don't think. Let me just confirm. Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, that was his turn.
Yep.
Interesting. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's a little tight here, but 30. There we go. Yeah, he didn't like that, Dori. He's going to try to take a swing at you. Wow. 18 to hit with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Don't feel too bad. The other one was a 20.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yikes.
No.
That's going to be 6 points piercing damage.
Okay.
He's going to take another swing for you at a 7.
Does not hit.
All right, that'll be his move.
Okay.
That'll go ahead and take things over to Vellos.
Right. Vellos is going to follow after Fiona, head towards the now open hatch.
Okay. It's going to take 30 feet of movement to get there. What's your action?
Who all can I see?
Standing from the hatch, unfortunately, you just see a spiral staircase.
Action to dash then.
Okay, so the other 30 feet will bring you down here as you just kind of vault over Fiona. So we'll go
Not
ahead and get
hard.
the riser out of the way. Put you more right here as you come thundering down the stairs.
Alright, what the hell do I have for bonus actions is the question.
I don't know. Do you have any spells other than healing that you can cast as bonus action?
I've got one, but it's the one that Thorn doesn't like.
I think
Right.
Thorn can see you very easily.
But I don't really have anything else to use my bonus action on.
I mean, you don't have to use it.
True. Yeah, I think it's too early in the fight to start burning.
Leveled spells.
Yep. So that's it for Vellos. Much to Thorn's relief.
Thorn doesn't have to glare at you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
That's what I said.
Okay, that's going to go ahead and bring things over to Bruno.
Okay, Bruno is going to use Word of Radiance
Okay, what's the save?
and Constitution.
Okay. Well, that's a 5 on one.
He failed.
And that's a 19 on the other.
He succeeded.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, just so I can tell the two apart.
You wear the hat.
And that'll end his turn for now.
Beautiful. All right, how much damage did you do? 4. Okay.
Yeah, 4. Could have been worse. And that'll end Bruno's turn.
Okay. Next, it's going to take things to these guys. Which starts with, I believe, the con saves out of Word of Radiance.
Oh, right.
That was out of the roll area. Alright, well, that's a 10. And the other
Well,
one
I
is
rolled
also a 10.
damage, but if they're both, are they both getting it at once? Are they sharing a turn, or are you just getting this all out of the way?
They're sharing a turn.
Okay, in that case, they will both take 3. Or the fail would be 3, pass would be half of 3.
They're both taking 3.
Yay, 3.
They're sharing a turn because grouping enemies makes things a whole lot faster than having,
Super fair. I just wanted to find out if they were both sharing this thing I was rolling for damage on Moonbeam, or if I was rolling separately.
Yep, nope, you're good. Yep. I would rather just not have 11 turns in combat.
Absolutely fair. That's why I asked. But 3 damage.
You're going to move over here and go after Big and Loud, who just came down the stairs.
Excellent.
With a spear.
Fair.
17.
No.
Okay. Multi-attack. 5.
That just goes into the dirt right next to him.
It's going to dice jails where that's going.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't blame you that one.
Okay,
Nope.
You're going to ignore big and heavily armored. 10, 15, 20. Instead, you're going to be mad at the spellcaster.
No. It's Fiona's spellcaster. Leave her alone.
Well, that's a 10 to hit. Lantern?
Well, no.
Okay.
17.
17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. I just had it. Where did I put it? There it is. 7 piercing damage
Ouch.
as you get stabbed with a spear. And then... where are you going to go? 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. Choices. A lot of choices, not a lot of brain cells. He's going after Thorn.
I'm pretty sure I maintain concentration on Moonbeam with a 16.
Yes. That's going to be 18 hit on Thorn.
That is going to. Dang it, that's gonna hit.
3 piercing damage. And then the next one is also an 18 to hit.
That also hits.
2 piercing damage. For a grand total of 5 piercing damage spread between 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Lucky Thorn.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't need to be raging to take that low damage this time.
I know. Imagine how low it would have been if he had been raging.
1
Right?
damage between a total of 2 damage. Speaking of which, Thorn's turn.
Yep. All right. Thorns. Okay, there's Thorn.
Thorn, you can poke with the stick.
Yeah, he's not happy about that. So he is going to rage. I believe that's a bonus action.
It is.
You.
That's what I thought. And is going to swing his glaive at. See, I just need to double check whether. I can never remember what rage does. Okay, that's what it does. Alright. Okay, so he's going to swing his glaive at the guy who just. Actually, is he in melee with anyone other than the guy who just stabbed him?
Having a reach weapon, he can reach the dude.
Not his reach, their reach. I'm thinking about him moving, so I need
He's
to know if
just
he
in
can
melee
move.
with this guy.
Okay, so he's going to go around and get advantage.
Okay. So you're gonna angrily move over here.
Yep. And is then going to swing his. Try and take this guy's head off with his glaive.
Alright. Swing it. Dang it, Vellos, you got me doing it now.
For a 26 to hit.
And I suppose that'll hit.
Alright. And it wasn't a crit, unfortunately, so that'll do.
Oh, damn, we're still level 4.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're still level 4.
Yeah. Put the stuff in front of it by accident. There we go. Ooh, nice. 17 points of damage.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't think he can do the bottom damage. The bottom attack.
No, because you bonus action to rage.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's movement, bonus action, action. That's his turn.
Yep. Alright, that takes things to Lantern.
Okay, so looking at these boys, I don't think there is a place that I can hit 3 of them at once, but I do see a nice place I can hit 2 of them with Moonbeam at once.
Okay. Where are you moving it? Or are you recasting?
I'm moving it.
How far can it move?
You see those 2 guys towards the the eastern side of the map there, where I can put it and it hits 2 of those without hitting any of my friends?
Yep.
That's where I'd like to put it.
Done. That's been moved.
And for bonus action, I think maybe Healing Word on Self.
Okay.
Cool. Almost recovered all of it.
Yay!
Okay. That's going to take things over to Dori.
I don't think there's anywhere I want to move.
Okay. Dori felt that the last time was pretty successful, so she's going to point to the same guy she hit last time and go, "You're the reason the taverns have to put instructions on the chairs."
Oof.
Wisdom
6.
save.
Oh.
7 points of damage. 6 necrotic, 1 psychic.
Ouch.
Oh.
Hostility.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Yep. Okay.
Dory being savage today.
Bonus action, movement.
She moves, she's going to get hit with an attack of opportunity, which doesn't really excite her. She's going to pretty much stay where she is for now.
Okay. Go ahead and move things over to Fiona then.
Okay. Am I within melee of the guy attacking Vellos?
You'll just need to move 5 feet.
Okay, well, I don't want to move into melee with him. So, I would like to jump off the stairs towards Lantern.
5, 10.
And then flank with Lantern on the guy that's attacking her.
20, 25, 30.
Yes. And she's going to stab this guy with a sword.
Okay. Roll it.
Four plus 5 short sword. That is a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Nice.
Excellent. Ten points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Yes. And then she's going to strike this guy.
Okay.
Since she's wearing these new fancy gloves.
All right, the stabby punch gloves.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I... Plus 4. That is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Okay, advantage.
Also, gotta love proficiency dice. So many ways to roll the same number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Love those proficiency dice.
So many ways
Yep.
to roll a 6.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You know what? She hasn't succeeded in this yet. And since this is an unarmed strike, I'm going to spend a key point to make this a kidney punch.
Okay. What's that?
So he has to make a constitution saving throw. Let me know if he beats a 13.
Holy shit. It's a 7.
Oh,
He takes a point of exhaustion.
Ooh,
nice.
brutal.
Oh,
You
that's
got-
fun.
And
Yeah.
takes 6 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, he's definitely
So-
feeling it.
Oh, oh, that.
Fiona nails him right in the kidney.
You've heard these things laugh. You've heard these things cry. But that sound puts a ripple of pain in everybody.
It's a new noise.
Oh.
Fiona just
Ooh.
figured out how to do something successfully, guys.
It's a mix of a laugh, a sharp inhale of pain, and maybe a little bit of a cry.
Alright, so according to the book, he has disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep.
Ugh, that is rough.
Alright, and that will end Fiona's turn. As I deduct a key point.
Okay, I'm going to move things over to the Knolls. Alright, so first off, con saves for 2 in the Moonbeam. 15 and 3.
The one with the 15 takes half of 9, and the one that did not beat a 13 takes 9.
Okay. So that's going to be 4 for the 1. I almost put those on the wrong guys. 4 for the 1 and a 9 for the other one. Oops. Okay. Starting with one with a hat. Attacks on Bruno. Ooh. 23. Bruno? Bruno, you're muted
Bruno?
again.
There we go. Yeah. Sorry. That hits.
5 piercing damage.
Okay.
And the second one is going to be a 6.
No.
Okay. Dori, it's getting real tired of you. Well, it's getting real tired. Jeez. Alright, that first attack's going to be a 7 to hit.
7 does not hit.
And then the straight roll on the second attack is, ooh, a nat 20.
Oh God.
Silvery barbs.
Wait for that. That's out of the roll area. It's a nat 1.
Oh, that's a 180.
Let's see here. Okay, so that's going to put the attack onto Bruno.
Oh dear.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to be 9 piercing damage.
Ow!
And that's going to end the Gnoll's turn. Bring that over. Sorry, we bring that over to Vellos.
All right. Well, Vellos is gonna try to smack this guy. Are any of them wearing metal armor?
They're all wearing chain shirts.
Hmm.
Oh dear.
That changes things. I gotta look at what this does again.
That was an evil laugh there.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're not using a shield or a metal weapon, right?
I mean, they have spears, but
Only the tip of that is really.
that's not enough. I would really consider it.
Yeah, it wouldn't even cause them to drop it.
That's why I'm saying I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah. In that case, we're going to activate special ability of Smithy's friend. I gotta concentrate on this. Well, assuming it hits.
Roll the hit.
Oh yeah!
Alright, roll damage.
Okay, regular
As
damage
the most
first.
rancid smell fills the room.
Oh god.
Of
Oh
burning
no.
fur as a red hot glow comes from the chain shirt of the gnoll that Vellos is facing.
Yeah, I'll do the regular hit first, and then do the heat metal hit.
Yep. Also, that is definitive screaming.
Well, that's definitely going to drag a lot more things here.
This gives Lantern such a good idea for a new cooking technique she can't wait to try out.
Oh boy.
Gotta actually look at the spell. It's 2d8.
Yeah, heat metal's a very vicious spell for its level.
Yeah, you see, you see Vellos stamp this guy in the chest with his hammer, and his chain shirt immediately goes red hot.
And that's also enough damage to bring it screaming down into the mixed stink of burnt flesh and scorched fur.
Again, I know I can use this technique for culinary purposes, but probably on something that has had the fur removed first.
Yeah.
You have
Please.
I have been waiting for the chance to use that. We haven't been fighting enemies using metal armor.
You
I'm
fought
just happy
several
to finally
enemies
punch
with-
something in the kidney.
I will say you fought several enemies with metal weapons.
True. That just makes them drop it, though.
It can.
Oh, I thought. Right. Well, with that horrifying show done, Vellos is going to move to back up Fiona with Lantern's foe, since he can't really get a
Alright.
bead on
15, 20,
the
25.
The others because of Moonbeam.
yeah. Used his bonus action on to speak the command word, so he can't attack again, but probably terrified the gnolls a little bit.
Beware the dragon's coming to cook you.
Pretty much. That will be Vellos' turn.
Alright. I think
Okay.
that brings it to Bruno.
That does take it to Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno is hurting pretty bad, so he's actually going to drop a Cure Wounds on himself.
Understandable.
Yeah, he's at less than half health.
Out of the move.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Heal away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I forgot to put 8 on us. Like an idiot.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not bad, not great.
And that will end his turn. If he does not have a bonus action he could use, because he used Cure Wounds on himself.
Oh. And then that takes things over to our next buddies. You're going to go ahead and turn around and attack Fiona for punching you in a very delicate, squishy location.
Good.
That's going to be a
She
17
wanted.
to hit.
A 17.
Yes.
That is her AC, so that will hit.
4 piercing damage on the first attack.
Alright.
And then he goes to stab at you again. That's a 22 to hit.
22, yeah, that will hit.
And that's going to be 2 piercing damage.
Alright, so 6 total.
Yes.
Alright.
And then we're going to go ahead and go to this guy, whom you're going to go ahead and attack this guy who hit you really hard.
There.
That's a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
So that's going to be 6 points piercing damage. And then the next attack is a 6 to hit. So he's going to take...
No.
He's only going to take the 1 attack.
That was 6 points, you said, or?
Yes. 6 before Havoc.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so 3 points.
Yep.
Thank you, Rage. Whew.
Alright, that takes things to Thorn.
Thorn, who is going to, now even more enraged, is going to, once again, try and take his head off.
Yep, go ahead and swing.
I think that hits.
And he does
22 to
attack
hit. Alright. Glaive, rage damage. For 12 points of damage
He's
this
looking
time.
significantly messed up, but he's still standing.
Pity. Well, he's going to hit with the bottom glaive. I think that's still just the...
Yeah, it's the other attack roll.
Alright.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, 'cause I can never remember that.
Alright. For a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Alright. For 11 points of damage.
A little overkill there, but that does it.
Yeah.
Well, he's angry. How is he going to like underkill somebody?
I mean, valid approach.
Yeah. Yep. And for movement, he's going to move southwest 5 feet. I think I got that right.
It's about right
Yes. Yep.
here.
That way he can attack either, or he has options on which one he attacks.
Correct. All right. Lantern.
So it looks like my moonbeam is already on a place where it's going to zap those two dudes.
Yes.
So I don't want to use my action to move it because it's already in an awesome place. So instead, I'm going to use my action to put a sword in the guy.
Okay. Sensible.
That makes sense to Fiona.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's 21 to hit.
20 will hit.
For 8 slashing damage.
As you put your sword in the guy's back, you get his other kidney, and that's enough to take him out of the fight.
Excellent.
Yay, matchy. And I'm just going to chill out here.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Dori, your turn.
Okay. Dori looks at the guy in front of her.
Yes.
Yes, there are plenty more fish in the sea, but you're in the desert alone.
So that one just goes completely over his head on an 18.
Oh, well.
Pity.
Yep.
He's just like, fish? Where's fish? That sounds great. Let's do that
Yeah.
instead of me getting killed.
Yeah.
Then she's going to, for her bonus action, she doesn't like the way Bruno took that hit for her. So she's going to cast Healing Word at him.
Ooh,
Okay.
thank you.
7 points.
7 points of healing, Will, I think.
Yay.
Almost back to max health.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, and that takes things over to Fiona.
Yes. Well, her target died.
Yes.
And there's only 2 of them left. They're in range of a moonbeam. So she can't flank. Since she's got 40 feet of movement, she'll go around and hit the one that's with the hat
Okay.
around the moonbeam, so she doesn't get attacked or inflicted with damage.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Okay.
Just make sure I did the right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep, 40.
Yeah. I would have to move more in order to attack him without being in range of moonbeam, because if I move forward one, I get hit. Question is, do I use another key point?
And the answer is I don't know.
You know what? she will go ahead and expend a key point. Oh. Yeah, to give her punch a 5-foot reach and punch that guy.
Okay.
Which will cause magical piercing damage.
Alright, go ahead and roll it. Nobody else notices this, but Fiona, the glove kind of gives your hand a more claw-like appearance as you swing for your blow.
That's only a 12.
Oh, this one good. That doesn't hit.
That's unfortunate. Okay, well, that'll be her turn.
As a spectral,
Oh,
looks like one of those... Yes.
Question.
Answer.
Would Insistent Strike work on that? Oh, no, wait. It's melee weapon attack. This is a range attack. Never mind.
It is a reach melee attack.
Oh.
So yes, it still would work.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't turn your attack into a ranged attack. It turns it into a reach attack.
All right. Well, then with Insistent Strike, I guess he takes 3 points of damage.
Okay.
So does it just, like, give me really long spikes on my fists, or...?
Kinda. So what happens is your hands take off when you spend the key point for the brief moment. Your hands take on a more clawed-like appearance, and it's more like a spectral set of claws swipe out at the target.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So that's what it feels like to have claws. Fun. Alright, and that will end Fiona's turn.
Okay.
Probably not enough to distract the guy, but we shall see.
Bring things over to the other dude. That's what that does. Oops. Okay, so that brings it to these two guys in the moonbeam. We need con saves. That's 6. That's a 17, and that is a 6.
They've 1 more damage.
Okay, the one who passes takes 6 damage, and the one who fails takes 12.
Okay, so... And then this one is out.
He did.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if my 3 points of damage helped.
Of course it did.
Always.
Okay. Let's see what you're going to do here. Both of these guys are healing, and you're being lasered. And you insist on being dumb. Which I put nothing
There's a
against
null.
you. You do have a -1 to your int.
Yeah.
Alright. Take a swing at Bruno first.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That does not hit.
Alright, then swing at Dori. It's going to be a 10 to hit.
Does not hit.
Like I said, he insists on being dumb.
Okay.
Alright, that's going to take things to Vellos.
The effort. Well, I can respect the effort, but he's hurting my friends. So, Vellos is gonna...
You signed up for this. Gonna move in, like so.
Yep.
Okay.
$22 to hit.
That'll hit.
or 6 damage.
And that's enough to do it.
Just a crack and a sizzle.
Yep. And as the din of battle in this room comes to fade, you come to realize that your activities have been blown. There's loud yapping barks, or more like yapping laughs coming from the hyena pen. And an alarm is slowly being raised.
On the other hand, we're in a fortifiable location.
Is this true?
This is true.
Yep.
True, there are at least 3 in the watchtower above us, though. We had to come back to help you guys.
Well, then that seems like the priority.
Yep.
All right, so go back up the spiral stairs to take care of those 3 up there.
What are you going to do at the door?
Well, close it for one.
Okay.
Are there wood or dirt floors in here?
It's wood.
Okay, if it's wood, then I can't do what I was hoping to do. But
Is there a locking bar on this door?
There is.
we can do that.
Yep.
Drop the locking bar.
Alright, that'll give you some time.
Mm-hmm.
As you drop the lock bar.
Yeah, might want to be on the lookout. Look out for archers if we head up to the tower. The staircase outside is exposed, from what I remember.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Dori will pull out her crossbow.
Bruno will put a vigilant blessing on Thorn, who will take out his longbow.
Okay.
Lantern still has Moonbeam up until the end of the spell.
How long's that last?
I'm looking that up now. Okay, it's up to a minute, so it probably comes to an end before I can do anything with it.
Yep. Goodbye, Unibunny.
But it's cool, I can always cast it again.
Mm-hmm. Is that a first level or a cantrip?
Moonbeam is a 2nd level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I have more 2nd level spell slots left.
Yeah.
And Bruno can also cast it.
Ah, right, okay.
I was going to put it exactly where Lantern had, but
I got there first.
that
Rolled better on the
Well-
initiative.
that just saves your spell slot for now. So
yes, it does.
Yeah,
Why
I mean,
didn't complain about it?
if the coast is clear.
About it.
yeah, we can explore rooms later when we don't have impending enemies coming at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check outside on the roof.
Okay, so as you head up onto the roof, go ahead and give me a perception check as you look around.
Everyone who's looking around or just...
2 people.
Vellos can do one. He'd probably.
I'm okay at perception, I'll do the other.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, that's a natural one, so I think...
Okay.
Well, Vellos got a 22, so.
I think Lantern gets immediately distracted by a shiny object dropped on the top floor of the tower and doesn't actually see shit outside of that. Or she's impressed with how cool Vellos looks while he's making his perception check that it throws her off completely. One of the two.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not. Vellos, you do notice there are archers on the other towers, but only 2 of them seem to be occupied as the rest of the gnolls were making their way towards the closed gate, or the door you guys had just barred. And you are feeling thankful at the lack of axes in their equipment.
It's going to take them some time to bust this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Well, we don't seem to have been spotted by the archers, so.
Only because you're realizing that while the tower over here is illuminated, you're not in an illuminated area. You're still in darkness.
Is there a way for me, looking out the window, to cast Moonbeam on the people trying to break through?
You're not on the roof. You're on the roof, there's no window, but yes, you could cast Moonbeam down there.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay.
My train of thought was going there too, Lantern.
Because they're bunched up in order to bust it down and work on it, and if, I feel like I can just cast it right in front of the door to make it harder for them to get through.
The average on that is a fail. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That'll be
nice.
Points of radiant damage on anyone who failed.
You definitely hear some howls of pain as the group backs off from the door.
That'll.
Yeah.
That's,
What's
oh,
that?
jeez, that was loud.
Buddy.
Fiona, you good? I think your mic's acting up again. It's just a day of mic malfunctions, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
was gonna say,
Yeah, it really is.
how's about given the mic issues we're having, we
Pick it up from here
yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good lull in the battle.
Yeah, that's a good stopping place.
Okay. Go ahead. Thank you all for coming. A little bit shorter than intended, but oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, good,
I don't
all
know
good.
why Discord seems to hate me today.
Yeah, Discord's
Yeah.
pretty fussy, it seems. That is
Happens
funny.
to everybody.
But I look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yeah.
We've
Thank you
got
for a
plenty
good
more
game.
trouble to cause.
Oh, yeah.
Always
Yep.
trouble to cause.
Lots of fun.
I'm really happy that I orbital laser beamed those hyenas.
Moonbeam's a really great second level spell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just happy I got to use heat metal on somebody for once. I've been looking for an opportunity to get good use out of it.
Again, you've had some guys using metal weapons.
True, but I really wanted to hit somebody wearing metal armor with it.
Complain.
Look, somebody can always drop their metal weapon and just completely negate the spell. You can't drop metal armor.
Not quickly or easily, no.
I guess. Anyways, I will see you all next week.
Okay.
That's,
See you
Well,
next
next week.
week.
Great session, guys.
See y'all next week.